Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. Welcome to 2023, and I'm pretty sure by the time this video goes up, it will be the new year. So I hope everyone had a safe and happy New Year's. So in 2023, I decided that I wanted to go small. I want to go with things that I can carry in a purse, very simple, very light. So this year for 2023, I chose the pocket-sized Moleskine Weekly. Looks like this. I had to turn up the ring very, very bright because it is winter and it's snowing outside here in Colorado. And of course the Hobonichi Weeks. This is the Mega. So plenty of space to write notes in here, but I like a nice, really big calendar. So I decided that what I was going to go ahead and do was to plan without a planner and make this video for not just those people who want to combine a small planner with a larger calendar without having to buy an A5 sized planner, but also for all of you out there who always comment that you love my channel, but you're not sure if planning's for you or if you can get it together to keep a planner all year round. This video is for everyone. So what I went ahead and did for this how to plan without a planner is to go ahead and plan out the entire year of 2023. This will cost you about $1.20. That's how much it costs at my library if you don't print this at home because you don't have a printer. So no worries, your library is a wonderful resource. Please use it. If you don't have a library card, 2023 is your year. Now you can use this as your main planner if you don't want to plan, because again, this video is how to plan without a planner. And the way I kind of break this down is I like to use these little sticky notes. You could probably fit about 3, maybe possibly 4 up here at the top. I like to go ahead and write out what I hope my goals are for this week. And then my actual calendar here reflects what actually does happen for the week. Now you can use this calendar with the Getting Things Done system by David Allen, who always mentions that you should schedule things. If it's even small things like cleaning. If you want to have your toilet cleaned twice a month, put it on your calendar and then live and die by your calendar. So that is something you can certainly do. So for those of you who want to dress this up, may I recommend that you use 28-pound paper or heavier, just because if you want to fold this up and carry it with you, which you certainly can, the creases are definitely going to wear and tear throughout the month. So I do recommend using a heavier paper for that. Also, if you want to use highlighters, some highlighters bleed more than others. You'll have less bleed through and less ghosting with a thicker paper. So since I am going to be carrying this pocket-sized weekly, I have gone ahead and put my mock-up in here. So let me show you what that looks like. It looks crazy. So for those people who want to do a partly analog system, you certainly can do so. You can go ahead and on the back of your calendar, you can do a couple of different things. So I did this speedy quick and it looks crazy. It's meant to, because I was just in bed thinking, hey, I want to try to figure this out. So I went ahead and put the full year at a glance, because that's how I like to project plan, especially for writing. But this can be for anything that you want to do. So I knew I wanted to break it down in quarters. So right away I was like, oh, you didn't set this up right at all, Sylvia. And then on the front side, I also wanted to do some project planning. So this is mostly going to be for my writing as well. This year I am keeping a Moleskine, which is an A5 size. We know in height, but is still a little bit more narrow than A5 in the width. And it's just a square grid. So I didn't really want to draw out my calendar or do a lot of planning in here. This is more for just working things out on the page. And so therefore I just wanted a calendar that I could print out speedy quick and do my planning on. So I figured out that Mondays I want to work on my second project. Tuesdays through Fridays is going to be my main project for writing, and then the weekends are just going to be no writing unless I can fit it in, because usually football happens and I hate football, so my family comes over for that, or my niece comes over and I help her with homework, even if it's just so that she can practice her clarinet. Now at first I thought, oh, I could go ahead and write out some things here, but I kind of like the idea of having sticky notes, especially if you're going to be using this as your only source of planning. You can go ahead and put all of your sticky notes up here, then peel them off off and put a new sticky note when you need more space. Now you can just keep sticky notes on the back of this calendar if that's what works best for you, but I'm going to show you how to personalize these calendars on the back in a way that makes things a little bit more efficient. Once again, for those of you who like your analog system, you can certainly write by hand. This was from Q2 of 2022 of last year. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to say last year already. And so I broke this down knowing full well most of the stuff would have to be migrated to a Q2 page, but I just did this on a blank sheet of copy paper. So you can do that on the back of your calendar if you would like. Another quick and simple way to do this without having to use anything digitally, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is to go ahead and use sticky notes on the back here. Now, if you're going to leave this at home, you can fill up all of these sticky notes if you're going to keep it at your desk. But if you want to keep it with you and you have to fold it in half to fit in like your notebook, I recommend that you make sure that you fit these sticky notes in a way that they fold up nicely. So here I just have, since this is the month of February, here is for February, and then you can have another one for the next month, and then the next month, or you can do it by quarter. It just, whatever works best for you. You can certainly use this with a combination of sticky notes, so small ones versus big ones, and also page flags. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create things to put on the back of your calendar, and I'm going to be doing it in Google Docs just because it is a free source. As long as you have a Gmail account, you can have access to Google Docs, so I highly recommend that you try this out and give it a go. If you're someone who's new to planning, one of the best things you can do is get down a routine. You can break it down into morning, midday, and evening. Maybe you just need something like an evening routine because you need to be a little bit more efficient with your time. So that is something that's very simple to do. You can go ahead and write it out if you want, or you can go ahead and type it in. It just depends on whether you want to be more analog or if you're fine with being a little bit more digital. Also, keeping a tracker can really help you figure out what your habits are and what habits you're lacking in, so I highly recommend trying it out. I know that tracking is not always for me, but even if I can get in a week or two of tracking, I usually find out some new things about myself. And remember that we're doing lazy planning here. So being able to print things out is fantastic because we don't have to draw out anything. Also, I love to copy and paste things. So once I create like a template, I will copy and paste that into a new page and then make edits to it. So don't feel like this has to be hard. It's very simple for you to just already go ahead, copy and paste, and make edits to that new template to fit your needs. Time tracking is another thing that I am not the best at, but every year at the beginning of the year, I feel like this is the best time to try to figure out if you can be this person. The answer is usually I'm not, but at least it helps me see some things. I start to get up earlier. I start to figure out how much time I'm actually wasting. A lot of times I will set a timer on my phone to make sure that if I want to do this thing for 20 minutes, I actually do it for only 20 minutes. Usually that's like shopping, because I will spend an hour or 2 hours on shopping because I'm just wasting time. Once you get a template made, it's really easy for you to go ahead and copy and paste to the next page and combine these however you wish. So if you have two schedules next to each other, like a time schedule, you can have one for your kids and one for yourself, or one for your kids and one for your husband. It's whatever works best for you. Also, these are just the right size that they fit very nicely in the Hobonichi weeks. So you can go ahead and print them. Don't put them on the back of your calendar, cut them out and put them into whatever planner you would like. I love my weekly planners, you guys, and sometimes I overbuy them just because I feel like everything needs to be broken down into a week. So it's really great to have a printable of the week where you can have like your ideal weekly schedule and then the reality. Sometimes you just want to cut these out and put them on the fridge so you can have a space for your meal planning and your significant other or your children can actually see what's going to be planned for the week. I didn't want to make this too complicated, so I went ahead and I wrote in the numbers, and then January underneath you can go ahead and write down what are the things you want to track, and then Sunday, Monday at the top you can just write that in. It's not that serious. There are different ways that you can add in numbers. It's a little bit more time consuming. And again, I don't know what people's levels are when it comes to digital planning or computers. I do recommend, if you want to make something more complex, that you use Google Sheets. I just didn't want to do that because some people get very nervous when it comes to Google Sheets, which is the equivalent of Microsoft Excel. For some reason, it makes people a little panicked. So we wanted to keep it easy breezy. Now on the back of my monthly calendar, what I actually keep is for my writing year at a glance. So I've broken this down into quarters, and remember this crazy mock-up that I had back here. I took this and I turned it into this. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. Now for the most part, this is actually going to sit at my desk, and the reason why I love this is because I can be in my notebook or I can be in my planner, have my calendar print out on my desk and be able to flip to whatever page and be able to see this as I'm doing so. When it comes to project planning, I really love to see this as a year at a glance. You can keep this as simple as you want. If you want to just create the boxes and handwrite in whatever you're going to be doing month to month, but I still like to make a plan for the entire year. Now, the best thing about this is you can go back and you can tweak it just a little bit each month. So if you don't get everything done in January, you can go ahead and make edits to February. If you don't get everything done in the first quarter that you planned on it, you can make edits to the second quarter and then reprint this out on the next calendar for the next month. And for me, it's pretty simple. I just go ahead and I feed my calendar back through my printer and print my quarterly year on the back. Also, if you stumbled across this video and you're like, oh, I like this idea, but I'd rather, tape it into a planner or into a notebook, this is how it looks. So this is the one that's just, you can go ahead and write it in yourself. Here is the one that I love the most because again, you have the check boxes on the left so you can write in things, and then you have stuff you hope to get done for that month on the right. And once, of course, you create this, you just copy and paste it and then change the quarters and then the months. And that is everything, I think, you guys. So this is how to plan without a planner, or how you as a planner person can combine this, and hopefully having a tracker on the back or a year at a glance will allow you not to have to buy that fifth planner, or even if you have one planner and you're hoping not to buy a second one, hopefully this will help you out. And that is how I plan without a planner. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. Is this something you've tried before? Did you find that it was easy if you tried this out to recreate in Google Docs? I know some people get very nervous about digital planning, but I feel like it's so much easier to go in and edit and tweak this every single month and then print it on the next monthly. And the beauty is these just sit in my inbox, and when the next month happens, I just take it, put it in my printer, and print out whatever I want on the back. And if I choose to change up what I want on the back, I can do that very easily because I've already done all of the work. So when I say lazy planning, it just means that we've done all of the work before, so we don't have to work harder than we have to. So this year, working smarter and not harder. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.